We are gathered today to witness the marriage of these two pieces of wood. Here goes. Man, that looks heavy. Come on, boys. Oh yeah, get you some of that.
On this episode, we're turning this giant piece of Brazilian cherry into a beautiful live edge bar top on the custom home we're building. This bar top is going to take a lot of abuse, and we need to make this miter joint bomb proof. We're going to show you how we do it. Here's a little hint. Once we had wrestled this slab outside, first we had to rip it down to width. And that's not as easy as you think because it has a live edge, so it's a different width no matter where you measure. Finally settled on a width and made a long rip cut with this skill saw. Next, we marked a point on the live edge side of the piece of wood, and that would be the point we cut both angled cuts from so that the live edge matches up. After cutting this roughly by hand, we then clamped on the track saw to get a nice, clean, glue quality cut. And with that, I'm going to turn this video over to Jaime to tell you all the details.
So we're doing our best to get this joint to line up perfectly in every way. You can see that the outside contour of this natural edge actually lines up really well because that was the exact same point in the length of the board. We just cut the miter section out, but unfortunately the heartwood and the sapwood doesn't line up perfectly. That's just what the tree gave us. There's really no way for us to reconcile that difference, but I'm really happy with the way this joint looks, and the next thing we're going to do is show you how to make it bomb proof. What I'm going to do here is mark the locations for my dominoes to go in here, and I'm not going to measure them. I'm just going to put them 3 to 4 inches apart. And this tape allows me to make a really nice bold line and not get ink on my wood. And then we're just going to take a razor and slice this apart. And I can always put it back together and check that my lines line up perfectly and then peel it away when we're done, making it easy to sand and not have pen marks.
This is our Festool domino tool. It's used to bore holes into this piece of wood that match the size of the domino pieces made out of wood. This will make a very strong positive connection between the two slabs of wood, and it's very similar to a biscuited joint, only stronger. You can see how Jaime is using the markings on the piece of tape to make sure that these holes line up precisely on each slab of wood. And to super reinforce this joint, we put dominoes on the top and the bottom edges. This is key for a super strong joint.
All right, we're about to glue this up. I almost forgot one really important thing that's going to help us clamp this together to be sure we get the glue joint tight. You can see we got the dominoes. I got my little glue brush. We're going to use some Titebond glue. And really the key to this strength of this is doing 2 rows of these dominoes is going to make this thing just so strong because it's going to have a lot of abuse, people putting their elbows on it, and maybe other things, I don't know. Good. We're going to be using these clamps right here to clamp the miter together. The best way to clamp it is perpendicular to the joint, but you can see that because this thing is at a 45-degree angle, when you tighten the clamps, they would just slide and never grab and hold. So what we're going to do is going to take these handy blocks, we're going to hot glue them to the side of the edge here, creating a nice place for the clamp to register, and then we can just pop them off easily and it won't damage this surface. And actually we're going to sand this up a little bit anyway, so if a couple little splinters pop off with it, it's not going to really matter. What I need to do is plan where my clamps are going to go so that I glue my blocks in the right position. That's really important. So this one is spread as far back as it can go, and you can see that I'm actually put it on the thing here. You can see that I know where this clamp is going to go. Yeah, put a lot on there. Oh yeah, keep going. I like a lot. I think that'll get it. All right. Now this is going to be a little bit crooked, but it's not really going to matter. Woo, we'll go right there. That's going to do it. Okay, and then on the other side. Yeah, you got that one there?
Take it, Ray. Take that.
Do it. And actually you can put it right up tight under the head of the clamp there, and that'll be good because I actually held this one short and I went ahead and stuck it so there was glue getting everywhere. But just bump it up tight to the clamp and then stick it to the wood. Bump. There it is. Slide it on in. Stick it and just hold it there for the next 30 minutes. Oh. All right, we'll just go right about there. All right, what we're doing here is we're going to put glue in each domino hole. A pretty generous amount because we want it to stick pretty nice. I'm just going to get a nice blob in every hole. And then I'm going to take my handy little brush and brush it around a little bit. Here goes nothing. Yep, go ahead and stick them in there. I'm going to take any excess glue and go ahead and put some on the face. But you really don't get a lot of glue strength from the face because this is kind of end grain. This is on a 45, so it's in between face grain and end grain. End grain does not glue well. Face grain does excellent, so it's somewhere in between. That's why we need the dominoes for the strength to hold it together. All right, that's looking good. Sorry about that. Now I am going to go ahead and apply some glue to the face here because I do want it to actually stick on the face, but I'm not relying on that to hold it together. I am going to brush a little bit of glue onto the actual dominoes, but then I'm going to take, if you want to turn that one up there, and go ahead and grab that glue bottle. We're going to go ahead and squirt a little bit of glue into each one of those holes. All right, we have glue put in all of these holes here. I'm spreading a little bit out on the face. This is really going to suck this glue in on the face here. It'll be almost all dried into the wood here by the time we even get it stuck together, but that's okay. Trying to paint it on there, make it real pretty. You got to ask yourself, what would Bob Ross do, you know, when you're painting? We are gathered today to witness the marriage of these two pieces of wood. Here goes. All right, I'll let you start on the heel there. Kind of give it a little action there. Oh yeah, that's looking good. See if we can get a little hinge action there. There it is. And let me get the clamp. All right, now we got to get our straight edge. I'd let it bang all the way to the, oh it is. Okay, let's grab another clamp there, Ray, the big one. As we're clamping this together, it's customary to alternate clamps on the top and the bottom of a surface to keep it from bowing up or down. It's kind of hard for us to do this in this case, so I'm going to use my straight edge right here to ensure that both planes of the pieces are perfectly in line. Yep. Okay, hold up right there. It's actually looking pretty good. If anything, we pulled a little bit up, and maybe we'll get, I don't know if we can hang this to get one clamp underneath. We've repositioned here because I do need to get one clamp on the bottom, and it will pull and kind of flatten this out. I'm checking for a level across the two pieces, and I can see that I need to bow it from the bottom. Okay, hold up. That's, ooh, you getting some tension there? I heard my, my little glue block was talking to me there. That looks very good. Tell you what, loosen this one a little bit and then tighten that one and then retighten the middle one. I am pretty happy with that. You can see that we have a little bit of a glue squeeze out. Actually, normally I would expect more than that, and I like glue squeeze out because then I know I got enough glue on the joint. If you don't see squeeze out, then you know you're kind of left wondering, did I put enough glue in it? So this is just perfect. We know that the glue joint is fully saturated, and now we can just swipe it off with a wet rag. No big deal. Tomorrow morning, we're going to take the clamps off, set this over there on the bar. We're also going to take care of some other things like this right here. We have some big cracks that need to be filled with epoxy, and underneath is even worse than that. So we're gonna fill these voids with some epoxy and some sawdust from this very piece of wood, so the color matches pretty nice. And then we'll be ready to do our final sanding, get this thing finished up. Okay, so check it out. We've got this natural edge. It's a little bit rough. I want to smooth it up, but I don't really want to take an orbital sander to it because I don't want to take away the character that we have right there. So I'm going to use this sander right here that has a soft nylon abrasive bristled brush. I call it the Flapper Sander 3000, but that's not really what it's called. It's a Makita sander, model number 9741. I bought this years ago when I was doing a barnwood project where all the barnwood needed to be cleaned up, but I didn't want to lose the detail in the barnwood like saw marks and things like that. So this is an excellent tool for kind of cleaning up, smoothing and rounding, and it'll even eat away soft grain, leaving the hard grain proud. And it's just a really kind of fun tool to use, and this is a perfect place to try it out.
All right, let's set this bad boy in place and see how it looks. And there you have it, a live edge Brazilian cherry bar top with a bomb-proof miter joint that will last forever. I wish this thing was in my house. Not shown in this video is the extra day of sanding and finishing on this bar top. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and click the bell so you'll get our future videos.